Welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to create our purchase order page and our purchase order detail page, along with a two-part ordering process that we're going to set up in order to make sure that you have all the relationships that you need coming through in your purchase orders. Now, purchase orders allow warehouse managers to buy new inventory to bring into the warehouse. And the purchase order has a couple different statuses, as we discussed earlier in the lessons. And to go over those again, we go to purchase order and we go to status and we open up that status and we see it's a single select. We have three different statuses here. And so by default, when we go to create a new purchase order, it's set as draft, meaning we don't want to send this to anyone yet. We don't want to send it to a supplier that's not ready. And then once the purchase order is ready to be sent, we can update the status to sent and we can actually send off that purchase order. Now you could do this via different API calls, different automations. There's a lot of different ways you could send off this purchase order. We're just going to set up the event, but we're not actually going to configure that destination. We're going to leave that open to you depending on however you need to trigger that for your own systems. And then finally, when the purchase order and all the related items arrive at the warehouse, we update it as received. So we need to make sure that we give the warehouse manager these abilities via action buttons within Softr to be able to update the statuses accordingly, and also to make sure that we're able to get all this data when we're creating new purchase orders. So let's start building. Go into our Softr Studio. We're going to go over to our purchase orders page. And we see that we have purchase orders right here. And it's actually created for us as a Kanban block. And the Kanban block is really cool because you can drag and drop different things across and it will update the statuses. But I actually don't want to build this page like that. The way I want to build this page is something like this, where we're still using a table. We have some nice filters here and the ability to create order. And the reason why I want to use a table is we're going to have a lot of purchase orders. This is a big warehouse, a lot of parts. We need to buy a lot of things. And I just think that when you're viewing a lot of data, the table functions really well. And we're going to keep following the same consistent patterns that we've been using with the other screens with our table and rebuild it here. So now that we know what the build is going to look like, let's continue on our purchase order page. We're going to go over here and we can actually switch this block out. So we're just going to delete it. And then we're going to go back to our dashboard page. Have we created that so far in our details? We have not. But I will still take this and I will copy to our app and I will copy it to the purchase order page. That way to give me a good head start on our table. And now we're just going to take this, it copied at the top, and we're going to take it, we're going to go move down. And that's starting to look good. So we have this. We need to update the source to be purchase orders. And now once we have updated that source, we need to update the content now. So let's go into content. And the first thing that we want is order dates. And that is set as image. So I got to switch this to text and we'll go order date here. We'll say order date. And then we'll delete that for now. And then we'll have products. And this is multiple products. So I'm going to format it as a tag, as I just personally like that. We'll have to refresh that for the come back. And then we'll go over here and we'll go to supplier. And it's going to be the supplier name. That's good. Let's make it a little wider so we can see the full name. Then we'll go to order count. And text is fine. And we'll just do order count. And then we'll do order cost. Order cost. Order cost. And then finally we'll do status. And I usually do all my statuses as tags. I really like that one. Get rid of that. Tags didn't come through, so we're just going to refresh that, fix that, and that should be good then. There we go. That's looking good. So we have our table set up, but we now need to add the title for our table, the search, the buttons, and the filtering. So let's go to content. We'll go here and we'll go purchase orders. We'll get rid of the sub content. That's looking good. So we'll enable the search bar and we'll go here and we'll search by purchase orders and we'll search by products and supplier. That'll give us a lot of options to search by. And then let's add in some filters as well. I like the supplier filter and it already comes prepackaged for us, so that's great. It is synced with our data source already. That's great. And maybe add the multi-select ability so you could select purchase orders from multiple suppliers if you want. And then also status works really well too. So we can say status, it's already brought in. We'll also multi-select. That's looking really nice. I do want to point out that you can have this as a drop-down or a tag in this fashion, which we'll leave like for this for now. And now let's go to our action button and we're going to create a top bar action button. The top bar action button is going to allow us to create a new thing, whereas the item action buttons allow us to edit that current thing. So at the top bar, we have a variety of options we could choose from: open page, scroll, open URL, add record, export. We're going to add record, and it's going to be add. It's going to be create order. And for this one, we're going to do a couple of things, and I'm actually going to teach you something new. But first, let's talk about what we need for the add record. So when we add something new, I say order date. We could do, say, supplier, and the order due date, the message to supplier, the supplier. And then the last thing that we need to add here is you go in add field, and we're actually going to add a hidden field. And the hidden field is going to be for our status. And the status for this hidden field is going to be draft. And I'm going to enter it right here, and I'm going to spell it the exact same way that we have it in our database. So draft, draft. So that means that when I go to create a new purchase order here, automatically the status is going to be created as draft. And that makes sense for our use case because we just created it, but we're not finished with it yet. We haven't sent it off yet. So using a hidden field to automatically pass that status works well in that way. I will also note that in Airtable, you can also go to status, edit field, and then select the default option to draft as well. And so that way, whenever a new row is created, automatically the status is going to be assigned as draft. So 2 different ways to accomplish the same thing. And the important part is that it's now being done. So we can go back to Softr here, and we can just update this modal, just say add new order, add, and then new order added successfully, and then open new, and then we'll say purchase order details. That looks good. All right, now that we built the purchase order page, we need to complete the create order process and the detail page. But we're going to do that in the next lesson because this one's getting quite long. So I'll see you in the next lesson, and we'll continue this whole purchase order and detail experience, completing that order every step of the way. I'll see you there.